G'day, this is Tony here, aka Crypto Aussie, and today we're here to talk about DRIP, and in particular the DRIP Faucet, the OG daily ROI protocol out there. Been around for a while now. So it promises a sustainable return of 1% per day, which, if you do the math, equates to 3,778% APY if you compound. Locked in. But the question is, does it deliver? And the short answer is no, it does not. But at least it hasn't been. But before you write it off, DRIP Faucet is definitely not a dud. It actually does deliver a huge APY, just not quite 3,778%. It's been doing it consistently and reliably for a year now, which is much more than can be said for 99% of the projects out there. So if a big APY reliably delivered sounds cool to you, and it should, then make sure to stick around for the next few minutes and we'll go through all the deets. All right, so probably the place to start is, what is the DRIP Faucet? If you look on the website here, and it's got a little description, the DRIP Networks Faucet is a low-risk, high-reward contract that operates similarly to a high-yield certificate of deposit. By paying out 1% daily return on investment up to 365%, players can compound and extend their earnings through deposits, hydrating rewards, as well as through team-based referrals, blah, blah, blah. Basically, that means it is a daily ROI platform where you deposit your money and you get 1% return per day, and it's paid regularly throughout the day. You don't have to wait till the end of the day or once a day to get it. And at any time, you can hydrate. That's this little button down here. You can, same as recompounding. So what that does, you can see here my deposits. I've got 37.266 deposit. That's DRIP. This is what I've got available. This is what I've earned since the last time I compounded or claimed. So if I click that button there, that goes onto there. And I get 38 point whatever. My deposits goes up. Or you can claim. So this button here allows you to pull out the money. So this 0.785 DRIP would actually be claimed into my wallet. And then my deposit stays the same. And then for the next day, I get 1% on this amount instead of on this plus this. So obviously, if you claim more often, then your balance doesn't go up as much, and your 1% doesn't actually count as much. Now, a few things you should know about this. First, like many such ROI projects, it pays out in the native token, in this case, DRIP. So I would actually get paid this DRIP, which means that I'm subject to the price fluctuations of that token, right? And especially for the ones that promise high APIs, then they often have to continually mint new tokens to pay out the rewards, which is hugely inflationary, because the more tokens they mint, the more the supply increases, the market gets flooded with that token, and the value goes down, sometimes to zero. So it's often not such a great thing to get paid out in some native token instead of a stable coin or BTC or whatever. What happens is you end up getting your massive APY, but you get paid in a close to worthless token. That doesn't sound like a good deal to me. However, with DRIP, you do get paid in the native token, but according to the white paper, this is the first ever deflationary daily ROI platform. So that means it's got to pay out the 1% in DRIP without continually minting new DRIP to meet those reward obligations. So how does it do that? Well, there's a few ways it does that. First one is, and this is really, really important to understand before you get into DRIP, whatever you deposit and whatever you compound, not recoverable. You can't get it back. And this is really important to understand. This 37 DRIP here, it's worth $1,253 US. I can't get that. I can never get that back. That is deposited into the contract. So all the deposits that people have made putting DRIP into this contract have created a pretty huge pool of cash for the contract. So that's a huge pool to start with. Secondly, taxes. So there's a whole lot of taxes on here. So first one, 10% on the purchase of DRIP. So where do you buy DRIP? You can buy it on PancakeSwap. I can put in my BNB here, max. So my 0.1 BNB will give me 1.36 DRIP. However, there's a 10% tax if I do this. So I'd need to increase my slippage here to at least probably 12% at least, maybe a bit more, to cover the 10% tax. Now, I'm not going to do that because I don't want to buy DRIP on PancakeSwap. But if you were to buy it there, that's what would happen. You can, however, buy it without incurring the 10% tax, and you do that on the fountain, which is under this swap tab here. I can go in here, put in the amount of BNB that I want to spend, gets converted to DRIP, and there is no tax on this buy, so you avoid that 10% tax. Then, once you've bought your DRIP, go to the faucet, deposit it. See this little 10% tax charge on deposit. So you charge 10% on the deposit. Every time you compound, so if I was to compound this amount here and put it back onto here, I'd be charged 5% tax on that. So I get 5% less than that would actually go into my deposits. If I withdraw here, 10% tax on withdrawal. So 10% would be taken off this, so I'd actually get more like 0.7 instead of 0.78. And finally, once I claim the DRIP, as I said before, paid in the native token, then I actually have to convert it, sell it to something else that I can spend. I can do that here, sell DRIP, but looky, 10% tax applied on sells as well. And that's the same as if you go to PancakeSwap. If you wanted to swap this around and sell this my DRIP for BNB, 10%. So, adding all that up, 10% on purchase if you're on PancakeSwap and on a platform, 10% on deposit into faucet, 5% on compound, 10% on withdrawal, 10% on sale DRIP. That means that your 1% return by the time you pay all the taxes and actually get it back out and get the money in, get it back out again, is actually much less. It adds up to and this is assuming you buy on the platform here, 0.73% on deposits and 0.77% on DRIP earned in the faucet, because you're only paying 5% on the compound instead of 10% on the deposit, which means that it's far less than 1%, and that 3,778% APY, not possible. After tax, it's more like about 1,500% APY, which is still bloody good, right? Not quite as good as you might think at the start, but 1,500% APY, bloody good, provided it is actually delivered. So in terms of being delivered, without minting and without inflationary sales, you actually get full value as much as possible for your 1,500. Deposit, not recoverable, all the taxes that are payable. A couple of other things that actually go into that. The max payout is 365%. So you see my max payout here? That's 3.65 times my deposit. That's as much as I can pull out. The more I deposit, and that includes anything I compound back in, increases that deposit amount, that'll push that up, but it's only ever 3.65 times the deposit. And that's also capped at 100,000 DRIP. So I can't actually get millions and millions and millions in here and withdraw all that out, because the contract won't be able to handle it, won't be sustainable. So they cap that at 100,000 as well. There's also whale taxes. Won't go into the details of those, but it's essentially up to 50% whale tax, and that's if you have or hold a large percentage of the contract. So that stops it being drained by big players. Finally, just one thing worth noting on the taxes too. They not only fund the contract, the payment of all those taxes, but they also act as a disincentive to sell. So it's 5% to compound, 10% to withdraw, and then another 10% to sell. It's a disincentive, which reduces the sell pressure, and also helps keep the price up. So add all that up together, then you can understand how this becomes pretty sustainable, and they can actually afford to pay 1% without minting new tokens. Now, the white paper does say that if they do need to mint tokens to pay rewards, then they will, but it's extremely unlikely. And as far as I can tell, they haven't so far. And that's after a year. It's still here, still going strong after a year without doing that. It looks pretty sustainable to me in practice. So I'm pretty happy with that. I think it is sustainable, and I think it's deflationary, so that you can get good value even though you paid in DRIP. But that doesn't mean the price never goes down. So let's check out the DRIP price chart here. Ooh, now this is over about 5 or 6 weeks. See, we hit an all-time high here, about $170, and now it's down to 33. So if you got in a couple of months ago, back here at the end of January, the price action hasn't been great. Now, why is this the case? It's actually sell pressure. If you look down here, red is sales, green is buy. So there's a buy there, but if you scroll through, there's a hell of a lot of red and a lot of green. What that means is people are claiming and cashing, and they're selling their drip to get their money out. But there's no reason to buy it. There's no incentive for anyone to buy because the price keeps going down because of all the sell pressure. Then people lose a bit of confidence in terms of putting more money in, and people are more likely to pull their money out because they're worried about the price going down further in future, so they're going to pull it out while they can, and it becomes self-fulfilling. And that's pretty much what's been going on here. Now, how far down does that go? Who knows? What I can tell you, though, is that if you go back a little further than this, it's happened before. This is not the first time we've seen this. So look, goes back to August here. Shoot up here, come down, shoot up here, come down, shoot up here, come. It's happened a few times. And if I look at what I know about the team and about the drip ecosystem, I'm actually really confident the price is going to go back up. We're going to get a bounce at some point here. We just need a catalyst for it. We need something to happen. And the team has already spoken about partnerships and new projects are in the pipeline, and I think they are going to drive it back up at some point in the not too distant future. Now, way too much to cover off in this video, otherwise we'll be going for an hour. But I will do a separate video on the drip price and why I think why I have some confidence in it. But I'll just finish that bit off by saying, even if it goes much lower than $33, it could go down to 20, could go down to 10 even. But even if it does do that, because this is a sustainable project, then it's still going to be profitable for me. It'll just take a bit longer for that profit to come back. So I'm still going to keep getting that 1%. So as long as it doesn't go to zero, which it won't, then we're good. So that's the price. A couple of other elements I want to talk about that are not covered in detail in this video. One is you see this team here. I actually don't have a team. I haven't focused on getting a team at all. No referral rewards, but you can invite other people to join DRIP using your, what they call it, a buddy link. It's essentially a referral link down here. And you get bonuses for that. In fact, to sign up, you need to have a buddy. So you need to have someone's link that you sign up with. Whoever that person is gets an additional bonus. So you need one. And all I'll say about that is if you've gotten some good value from this video and you're looking to join up and you think this has been valuable, then I'd be really grateful if you could use my link. As I said, I haven't been focusing on a team at this point, but always happy to bring people on if they're willing to sign up. There's no requirement for you to sign up anyone else beyond that. You can just play solo like I've been doing up until now. And the other thing is that you'll get airdrops. So one of the things you can do is give rewards to people who sign up under you, and I will do that for anyone who signs up under me. I will airdrop DRIP to you on a regular basis just from the referral rewards and other rewards that I get from this. So link in the description below, jump on board. The other one I wanted to quickly mention is the reservoir. Won't go into detail about this. It's essentially you're able to add DRIP BNB liquidity now to the on PancakeSwap, and what that helps is it helps support the price. You earn rewards for doing so. But there's a bit of detail to this, so it's sort of beyond the scope of this video. But I can do another video later to cover that if people are interested. Let me know in the comments if you want to learn more about that, but I won't cover it in any detail now. Right, so that's basically it. The suggested strategy for doing this, I think all you need to do is you need to get some BNB in your wallet. So, you can swap another token for it on PancakeSwap, get it out of Binance, however you get BNB. Go here, stick it in here, buy DRIP, go over to the Faucet, deposit it here, it'll show up here, and you will start earning rewards. My suggestion is hydrate for the first couple of months at least. Build it up, get those get that compound interest working for you early, and build up your balance of your deposits. And then once you've built that up a bit, start mixing in the occasional claim with hydrates to start pulling some money back out. There's actually a really good calculator for figuring this out. I'll put the link in the description. It's not mine. I didn't create it. I think someone called Kelly Snook did it, but it's a publicly available calculator where you can put in a whole lot of assumptions about how much money you put in, all that sort of stuff, and you get a calculation, an estimation of how much DRIP you can earn. So make sure you check that one out. All right, summary. So what I like about this, I like the APY. So it might not be 3,788%, but it's anywhere from 266% if you claim every day, up to about 1,500 or 1,600% if you hydrate on a regular basis or hydrate all the time. So of course, you're going to need to claim at some point to get a return. So most people fall somewhere in between, but with a reasonable strategy of hydrating a lot early on and then mixing in some claims afterwards, you can easily get over 1,000 APY in terms of DRIP, which is a great return, particularly for something this stable and long-lived and consistent. If you choose to claim, you can claim every day and get your initial deposit back in about, I think it's 137 days is how long it takes to get your initial deposit back. So that's another strategy you could use, is to claim every day from the start. After 137 days, you'll have your initial deposit back, and then you're playing with house money. And that's a perfectly valid way to do it as well if you're a little bit lower risk tolerance. And the other thing I love about this is it's already been around for a year. It's secure, it's sustainable, it's deflationary, and it's profitable. So there's a lot to be said about how good this thing is, particularly compared to some of the other options out there. There's not many protocols that last anywhere near this long. Most of them flame out or get rug pulled or whatever. This one has proven itself over a long period of time. What I don't like so much, or things you need to be aware of, is, as I said before, you can't get your principal back. Now, I understand this plays a huge role in sustainability of the protocol, but it also increases the risk. So you've got to put that money in there knowing that you'll never see it again. You've got to have the confidence in it that you'll be able to get it out through the daily rewards. So just something to bear in mind. The rewards are paid in DRIP, native token, and are therefore subject to the price variance of DRIP. The team is not doxed, so we know who the developers are, Forex Shark and BB. They're quite well known, or very well known, in the DeFi space. They have a long track record of integrity and great results. They're KYC'd, so some people do know what their true identities are, but it's not public knowledge, so they're not fully doxed. So if you're a little bit nervous about that, then that's fair enough, because we don't know who they are, but they do have a long track record. They've been here for a long time in this space. So personally, I'm comfortable with that, but each person's different. Finally, there's a lot of taxes. It says 1%. They promise 1%. It says it right here on the website, paying out 1% daily return. After all the tax and everything, as we said, 0.73 to 0.77. So it's not actually that. But the tax is the primary reason the protocol is sustainable. So I would rather get 0.73% sustainable, knowing it's coming and knowing they can pay for it, than be promised 1% and not being able to get that at all, or having to mint a whole lot of new tokens so the price of DRIP goes to about 3 cents. And I think so. I know what I prefer. So, but you need to be aware that there are some negatives, but it's still awesome. I think this is one of my best investments that I've made, I believe, and I think it's one of the things that if I was getting started again today, it's one of the first things I'd jump into. As you can see, I'm already in it. My strategy is to compound for the next 4 months, then start withdrawing. I estimate that I'll make at least 500 to 1,000 APY on that over the next 12 months. And assuming the DRIP type price stabilizes, then putting in $1,000 now, if you were to start from scratch, you get 5,000 to 10,000 back over the next year. Cold hard cash. There's not many other places you're going to get that. And at the end of that 12 months, you've already pulled that money out, but you also have an asset in place that's going to continue to earn you money every day from that point onwards. And at that point, depending on how much you've hydrated and how much you've claimed, the asset will be producing $50 to $100 a day, every day. That assumes it's still there, which, on the evidence we have so far, no reason to think it won't be. And there's not many other places you're going to get that sort of return with that level of sustainability. So very impressive. Now, of course, you need to do your own research, make your own decisions. I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. I'm just a guy on the internet, and all I'm doing is sharing my opinion purely for entertainment purposes. But overall, I think this is an exceptional project. It's proven itself over a year, been very profitable for a lot of people, and will continue to be very profitable for those who are willing to give it a go. So if you like the look of DRIP, would like to give it a go, as I said, buddy link in the description. I'd be very grateful if you'd use it to join. And of course, if you do, you'll also receive rewards from being part of my yet to be put together team. All right, so if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. Hit the subscribe button to be notified of more videos about this. You can also join my free email list, where I provide ongoing commentary, tips, information, and offers related to building wealth and generating passive income with crypto. And if you want to even take it to the next level beyond that, you might be interested in joining the Sat Stackers Mastermind, where we constantly discuss opportunities like this and many others. Now, at its heart, Sat Stackers, it's a small but extremely supportive group of crypto enthusiasts. We're actually a community, is mainly what Sat Stackers is about. And that community includes some very experienced and connected people in the industry who regularly bring us profitable opportunities before anyone else is aware of them. So talk about a competitive advantage. We get access to some stuff that you just don't see if you're not part of a group like that. So think about that. All links in the description to the email list and to the Sat Stackers Mastermind if you want to learn more, or hit me up in the comments if you want more info about any of that. So that's it. That's the truth about DRIP Faucet, and we will see you next time.